subscribed to my channel for a while, you know that I have alopecia. I first started experiencing symptoms approximately 10, 12 years ago. Started out with a small spot like in the crown of my head, and over time the spot spread. So in the past, I was able to cover my hair, cover the spots with the remaining hair, but over time, the rest of my hair became real thin, and I was no longer able to cover the spot. So if you don't know, alopecia is an autoimmune deficiency disorder, and there's different forms of alopecia. I have scarring and traction alopecia. And there were some other factors that contribute to the hair loss, hormonal issues, and a lot of other things. But I got into a car accident 5 years ago, and I had to get stitches. So in this area right here, the hair won't grow back anymore because now it's like scar tissue there. So there's no hair there, and like in the crown of my head and in the back, the hair won't grow. So I decided about 6 years ago just to shave it all off and be done with it. But that was a very hard decision for me. It took a long time for me to convince myself that it's okay, not to have hair. Um, but there were many things that made me decide just to go ahead and shave it off. So initially, when I went to the dermatologist, they had to do a biopsy, and that was a nightmare. That was a terrible experience because they did not numb my scalp very well. So I was able to actually feel pain as they're cutting a portion of my scalp. Thank God it was just a small area, but I felt every pull, tuck, cut, whatever. So then they send it off to the lab to be tested. And so I had to go back. In the meanwhile, they prescribed me some cream. I can't remember the name of the cream, but it didn't work. So there's certain areas on my scalp that were balls, but there was the like little hair follicles, kind of like peach fuzz. But that's the longest it would grow. It wouldn't fully flourish or grow out anymore because the hair follicles and the cells around it were dead. So since the cream didn't work, I started getting steroid shots, and I did like one round of that. Um, and I'm supposed to start seeing results after 3 months, and then I'm supposed to go back again and wait another 3 months and then go back. I think it was do 3 rounds. I couldn't go to the third round because after the first round there was no hair growth, and I wasn't thrilled about pumping chemicals into my body. It's like, no, this is not working. So I went ahead and I just decided to shave it off. But I was still wearing wigs and weaves, so nobody really knew what was going on underneath. And I've shaved my head before in the past, but it wasn't because of alopecia. I just wanted to start over. So it wasn't unusual for me to do that. But this time I knew that once I shave it, I'm pretty much gonna have to continue it. Now I did try to be creative and try different styles, and if I can find some of those pictures, I'm gonna post it because I tried to do like the mohawk and different styles. It just wasn't working because the areas were beginning to spread. So when they were small little areas, it was okay because I was able to kind of shave my head down, and this was like a low fade. I didn't have to go completely bald. But once the areas began to spread, it was kind of hard, like I said, to cover it with hair anymore. And so I just went ahead and shaved it completely. So it has been a big adjustment. However, I am at the level where I am confident without wearing wigs or weave. But it does take time. So I would encourage anyone that has alopecia, like just take your time to deal with it. For some people, it was reversible and they were able to regrow their hair. And for some people, it's not. So if it's not the end of the world. Don't beat yourself up because you will get to the point to where you are comfortable. And if you decide you don't feel comfortable wearing your bald head and you feel more confident wearing a wig or a weave, that's fine too. Everyone have a different coping mechanism. For me, like I said, I didn't want to rely solely on wigs and weave because I've always been wearing wigs and weave even when I had a head full of hair because I like to be able to change my style. That's just me. But there were days where I was like, I don't want to wear a wig. I felt like I was covering up what I was hiding. So for me, it was liberating. It was freedom to just walk out the house and don't have to wear a scarf or a wig or anything. Just be me. Um, just let my beautiful face show, But I do understand if they're, for some women, they don't want to. And that's fine. Everyone deals with things differently. And it doesn't mean that they have low self esteem or they haven't accepted the fact that they have alopecia. They probably just don't want to, and that's fine as well. Because I will say this, I have come encounter with a lot of women who do have alopecia, and I've also come encounter with a lot of support groups. Now, what I'm about to say, I'm not trying to bash anybody or any support group, but some of them were very strict when it comes down to the no weave and no wig policy because they felt like wigs and weaves was kind of like a crutch and that it was more freeing and more liberated not to even wear wigs and weave, which I could understand that, but that's not everybody's journey or everyone's story because when I wear a wig or weave, it's not because I'm ashamed that I have alopecia, because I want to change my style. Um, and that's always how I've been. But there are days, and sometimes I can go like a whole month and don't wear a wig or a weave. And then there's time I'm like, okay, I'm ready to put on a wig. I'm ready to glue some tracks in my hair. That's just me. But some of the groups have been like really sticklers about this. It's like they don't want you to wear a wig or a weave because they felt like it's, I guess, like you're being ashamed, but that's not the case. So I just want to say that you have to do what is comfortable for you. When you look in the mirror, you need to be able to love the reflection that's looking back at you. So if you want to put on some makeup, if you want to put on some accessories and put on a wig and that makes you feel confident, then so be it. Or if you be like, well, I don't want to wear any jewelry, I don't want to wear any accessories, I don't want to wear a wig today, you still beautiful, you rock your bald head, but you have to do what is best for you because this is your journey and you can't let anyone tell you how to live in your truth. I know for me, like I stated, it was devastating. I went through all 5 phases of grief because I was grieving over losing my hair. It was a loss. And I was in denial, I was depressed, I was angry. And finally, I accepted because I'm like, I am me. I'm not this skin. I'm not this hair. I felt like I was India Ari. I am not my hair because I'm not. But I had to get to the point to where I was okay with it. It wasn't what other people say. It was about how I felt. And I remember the very first time I went to work and I didn't have on a wig. I got so many compliments. I was surprised. I still was a little uncomfortable, but I did appreciate the support and people just telling me like, wow, I never noticed your eyes before. I never noticed your cheekbones before. You have such a beautiful face. Like this look fits you. Because I appreciate hearing that, but I wasn't confident yet at that point. So when I finally got to the point to where I was confident, it was okay. And I was okay if no one ever gives me another compliment. I can look myself in the mirror and say, I got it going on, that I'm beautiful, I love me. So once again, it's a personal journey. So you can't let anybody rush you through your process. You can't let anybody tell you that how you are dealing with it is wrong. As long as you're not doing anything that's self-destructive, then so be it. But this is very personal. As women, we cherish our hair. So to lose it is devastating. Um, and also with this disorder, some people don't grow hair at all. And they also experience it at different phases in their life. Sometimes it happens when you're really young. Sometimes it happens when you're a teenager, when you're older. So once again, it's a personal journey, and you can't allow people to rush you on your journey or tell you how you're supposed to feel on your journey. So, this is my alopecia story. I know I talk kind of fast, but I just wanted to come on because it is Alopecia Awareness Month, and I also wanted to do an updated version. Because, like I said, the first video that I made about having alopecia was about 10 years ago. So, as you can see, it's a big, big update. But thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful and a blessed day.